Okoye,
Yes, sir.
who's your pound for pound number one? Or who's the best fighter in the world today?
All right, so like you gotta give me a little bit more though. Are we going off of like record, like strength of opponents, or just pure talent?
Give me both. Skills. Give me one on skill set. Give me one resume.
Okay. Resume, you guys still put Canelo up there near the top because of what Canelo doing in the game right now and how long he's been at the top. I'll give him that. Skill-wise, though, you know, if you're just saying, like, regardless, like, they haven't faced everybody yet, but they got the most talent in the game, because that's what I think pound for pound really is like, no matter what weight this guy would be at, he'll be nasty. I think that's Boots to me, and that's true. Like, I haven't seen somebody who can, like, the things that I like in other fighters, he has. Like, I love Spence. I like the way Spence fights as a southpaw. Boots can do that, you know what I mean? I love James Toney, for instance. Boots has that type of defensive wiggle and those quick twitch reflexes. I like the fact that he can switch hit. I like that about Crawford. His aggression, the fact that Crawford is evil and likes to come forward and attack. Boots can do that as well. So when you look at, like, I can find fighters, like, whether it's a jab or movement or punching power or showmanship, I can find different traits everywhere, right? But they all are embodied in what I see in Boots up and coming. So I think for some time to come, and it'll be apparent soon. I might sound crazy today, but I'll be a genius tomorrow. You know what I mean? But for some time to come, I think Boots will be the pound for pound best out there, unless, you know, somebody that I haven't heard of ascends. But right now, it got to be Jaron Boots Ennis for me, talent-wise. But resume, he doesn't have a resume yet. But that's because people, you know, wisely stay the hell away from him. You know what I mean?
If you had to combine both, resume, talent, who's number one?
Resume and talent. I like what I see out of, like I said, I told you about Canelo. I like what I see out of Canelo. I like what I see out of Gervonta. I feel like Gervonta nasty. He fought a lot of people, but he's like a one-style, one-trick pony type guy. He come and seek and destroy southpaw, I'm gonna knock your head off. You know what I mean? But, you know, he has to get his credit. Skill-wise, although Lomo lost to Teofimo, I think Lomo got to be up there, top 5 somewhere. You know what I mean? I like the way Lomachenko fights too. Outside of that, it's been a lot of you know, passing up, changing of the guards in boxing, like, you know, guys coming up and guys beating other guys. Young guy though that I think doesn't really get talked about in that way, you would have to say is Shakur Stevens is going to be one of those guys that gets in that conversation. And then last but not least, and no disrespect to Errol Spence, I'll put Errol Spence where he is in the category. But as far as pound for pound best, I still think Crawford is still up there as well. I think Crawford still got that. Due to, you know, I think Spence has a slightly better resume maybe, but Crawford to me has like shown me things. The way he just came up in the game, the way he came out of nowhere in Timothy Bradley's camp and all that, and the way he came and took the game over, I still got to pick Crawford somewhere in the top. But number one still to me, resume and talent-wise, still has to be Canelo, because of what he's done in the game, the level of opposition that he's fought, and the fact that when you think boxing, to me, a pound for pound great carries the sport. When Floyd was pound for pound great to me, he carried the sport. Whenever he fought, you know, they needed him to fight. They needed him in boxing. You need Canelo in boxing right now. You needed Roy Jones Jr. in boxing when he was pound for pound best. Canelo's just that guy right now where everybody would love, anybody 10 pounds plus or minus where he is would love to have opportunity to fight him. So you got to get at to him. You got to get at to him. He's carrying the sport. I don't think Crawford is carrying the sport right now. You know what I mean? I think Boots will carry the sport at some point. You know what I mean? I don't think Crawford ever really carried the sport. He's just a guy that is great skill-wise. I don't think Errol Spence ever carried the sport. So that's another thing that plays into being pound for pound great. Like if you're looking at Sugar Ray Leonard, he not only had the talent, the charisma, but he carried the sport. Everybody wanted to get an opportunity to fight him. De La Hoya, even though I don't think he ever was pound for pound best, he carried the sport at one point where you had to fight De La Hoya to make real money. And Canelo's just that guy right now. You know what I mean? I don't count heavyweights because they heavyweights. You know what I mean? But you gotta fight. You gotta fight Canelo to make money right now. And I think his skill set along with his marketability, you gotta give it to him. You know what I mean? You gotta give it to him. I don't think those other guys will ever carry the sport other than maybe Boots. That's it. You know, Shakur Stevens, I don't see him. You know, lightweights never really do, but I don't see him carrying the sport. You know, at any point. I feel like, you know, Boots is a once in a lifetime type talent that can do that. Canelo is a Frankenstein. Like, he was made to be who he is. Like, he's been boxing since he was a kid professionally. You know, so of course he is where he is. He has just different level of reflexes and respect due to the way he came. So yeah, I think that's it, man. I can't give it to a guy that can't carry the sport. That's just my opinion, man.
Okay.